Right, we're going to be doing one of the long road races today, and it's going to be the Colossus one. As yeah, the Goliath one is in a higher class, so I presume that is the longest of the two. So yeah, we'll do this one, and then we've only got two more to do. We've got the Goliath, obviously, and then we've got the cross-country run on top of that.
It's my way or the highway for the Colossus, quite literally. It's the entire highway loop. Buckle up.
Right, so that is obviously quite long. That's 23.4 miles. Thankfully only a single lap though. And yeah, one colossal lap, sorry, around the entire highway loop. So what are we going to pick? Now, obviously speed is going to be a bit of a necessity with this one. These are the four that I have in my garage that I can choose from. I recently got the 918 Spider as a reward for doing some online racing. Now, obviously, the Mercedes AMG one there has a better handling, braking, and launch. Well, not launch, and braking. The Porsche has a better acceleration and launch, but launch only really comes into it for a few seconds, so I really don't think that's going to be massively important. But obviously, the acceleration is pretty damn good as well. Top speed is slightly better as well than the Mercedes. Acceleration on the Lamborghini is very nearly as good as those two. Launch is as good as, but handling isn't as good as either, nor is the braking. And top speed is better than the Merc, but not as good as the Porsche. And then the T50 there, not as good as either in any regard outside of the braking. So as the Mercedes is better in terms of handling. So yeah, but let's see what we've got in terms of being able to buy. So there's a lot of cars here to buy that we can choose from. We've got a few Koenigseggs, McLarens, Pagani Huayra BC, or the Zonda Cinque Roadster. It's a difficult one, this one, because you've got to really balance between handling and acceleration and top speed, because if you don't have the handling, then you're not going to be able to maintain a good rate of speed around corners. So as good as the Venom is, for instance, in terms of its top speed, as you can see, the handling and braking isn't as good as, say, a Mercedes or a Koenigsegg Jesko. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn between going for something that's properly quick in a straight line like the Hennessy, or something that's also properly quick but also much more expensive, but slightly better in terms of handling and braking. Thankfully I do have 5% off for owning one of the houses right now. I think we'll just go for the Hennessy. It's a car I want anyway, and doesn't weigh all that much, has a huge amount of power, and even though the handling and braking isn't as good as some cars, it's hardly the worst that you're going to get, especially for the kind of speed and acceleration you're going to have. So yeah, we'll go for this. Choose a colour. I like it in the orange. Yeah, that 5% saves us about 100,000 credits there. Not a huge amount, but you know, it always helps in some regards having some money off. So yeah, not driven this car in the game. Obviously we did have it in the previous Forza Horizon game where it comfortably went well above 300 miles an hour. That was in an upgraded form, but I think it was only upgraded in terms of handling and tyres and such. So yeah, whether or not it can do that amount of speed on this race, we'll have to see. But yeah, we've definitely got top speed on our side. And there are some cars here that we've probably got better handling than as well. The Lamborghinis will have the launch because they've got all-wheel drive and we're only rear-wheel drive. We're already having a fight up front. This section is good for the Hennessy because obviously it's all about speed right now. Certainly have a better top speed than the Porsche. Oh dear, not as good as handling though, which is where I was fearing that this would come unstuck. Yeah, it's ballistic in terms of its top speed. Shame we were restricted by class, so when it comes to these races, that was not the case in the previous game. That Porsche's been left in the dust. There's 300 mile an hour. Comfortably achieved in this race. That we got to 302 before we had to start braking. These twistier bits are where we're going to struggle, I believe. Oh, somebody's gone off. Speed across the bridge. I think this is the Rainbow Bridge. Already more than a third of the way through. Yeah, we just struggle to maintain a great deal of speed around the corners. Get on the power out of the corner, we do have a lot of oversteer, a lot of breaking of traction, which is not helpful. Someone else has had an accident. One of the places we're making up right now are when someone has a crash. We get up to the halfway mark. And another one's had a crash. What the hell is going on? Centenario there having issues. Another Lamborghini overtakes us. Get crashed into because we're too slow for the corners. Even the Gamera I think is behind us, that's holding on. Long flowing section though is going to do us a world of good. No one else is getting up to this kind of speed. But yeah, then again we come stuck. I think the AI are struggling with the rate of speeds that we're getting up to. I'm struggling as well. Okay. I don't think we picked the right car, everybody. I was hoping the sheer brutal speed would make up for its handling deficiencies, but it's just not. They're not a million miles away, but obviously being ahead is still a win regardless of how far ahead they are. the absolute speed option here has not worked out. I'll have to try again with a different car. Only at the very end there, get a couple more places due to an accident that had occurred. So yeah, 7th place, not good at all. Yeah, we're going to have to try that again with a different car. Because yeah, the Lamborghinis there were really keeping their own. The Gamera was also doing pretty well, although not as well as the Lamborghinis. There was a Venom F5 in 3rd, so yeah, for whatever reason I wasn't able to keep up with 3rd place in the same car, basically. But then again, the Venom F5 is also in last, so we've basically got the last position, a middle one, and a podium position for the same car. So yeah, which kind of just shows that it's not consistent enough really to be a winner around that track. So yeah, I think we're gonna try and upgrade a car. We're not done one on this playthrough so far, so we'll see what we can do with this Venom in terms of upgrades, and if we can't do enough for this, then we'll try out one of the other cars that it was recommending, either to buy or that we already had. So let's see what upgrades we can do. Tyres are going to be the biggest thing, I feel. Right, we can't get full slicks, so we can get semi-slick ones, and they do make a difference there. Improves handling, acceleration, launch, and braking. How much better is that in G-forces? 129, 60, 148, 120 over... Yeah, that's a massive difference, that is. Right, those will help, and then we'll help them further by widening them up. So that gives us, yeah, 1.5 Gs at 120 mile an hour, which is quite mad, quite frankly. Right, we'll widen the... Oh, we can't even widen the track. We've pretty much used all our PI here. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame that you can't do all that much to this car. Does the anti-lag make a difference? Marginally in terms of the 0 to 100 time, but we're not really doing that all that much, quite frankly. Can swap it to all-wheel drive. Does that put the PI down or up? Obviously. And yeah, even putting a rear wing on it, as much as that would hinder the top speed a little bit and improve the handling, again puts us right into R class. Same with a splitter. So yeah, although you can do a fair bit to it in terms of the tyres, pretty much everything else is out of contention, given the little amount of PI we have to play with. I think a Revolto is probably the best option overall. It's still got the launch and the acceleration even in standard form, but it's got the all-wheel drive system and plenty of PI to play with. The Gamera was working well for some people on that race, but as good as the speed and acceleration and launch are on that car, even in standard form, it's, yeah, I don't think it's going to have quite the control of a Revuelto, which is significantly lighter, and will only get lighter if we can do that aspect to the car itself. So yeah, we can give it full slicks, widen the tyres, lighten the car if we need to. Which we will. Give it a boost in power. Nearly 1100 horsepower there. Although I think turbocharging it might be more beneficial than doing those upgrades, so we'll swap those back out. Oh no. The turbochargers are too powerful. They're only going to put too much PI on us there, so we will not do that. This is why I typically don't do upgrades on videos, because it's a lot of experimenting, trying to work out what's going to work or not. Where's that 4-litre V8 twin turbocharge from? That's a lot of power. Put the throttle bodies back on. Lighten the flywheel. Make it rev a little easier. None of the transmissions are really working for us there, but the race transmission will at least allow us to play around with the final drive if we need some more top speed. Lighten it further. Give it a better clutch to deal with all that extra power. Don't know whether or not to go for a get my tongue twister out there, rear wing or not. I know it improves the handling by a decent amount and the braking substantially. In terms of G-forces, it doesn't actually go up a huge amount. It's a lot better in terms of 120 mile an hour, but not much in 60. But then again, how much I'm going to be doing 60? I'm going to be doing 120 a lot more. Right, we'll go for that. Yes, it'll limit the top speed somewhat, but I think being able to do 230, 40 mile an hour pretty much constantly is a much better prospect than only being able to do it, you know, when it properly opens up. Race springs, race anti-roll bars, front and rear. And we'll strengthen it up a bit with the roll cage. So I think that's pretty much everything we can do to this car. We're giving it all the power we can. So yeah, it's not going to be full PI, but it's close enough. So yeah, we've got 96 extra horsepower. We're about 700 pounds lighter, and we're able to pull more lateral Gs, and we've got more horsepower per pound as well. So yeah, it's an improvement. How much of an improvement we'll have to see. So we can't really fiddle around with the final drive, to be honest. We'll reduce the rear wing a little bit in terms of the performance, just bump up that top speed ever so slightly. Really like to get it to about 240 at the very least. As long as we're doing a 1.5 G at about 120, I think that'll be more than enough. Further down. There we go, 240. Hopefully that'll be fast enough. No guarantees though with these kind of cars. So let's get back to the Goliath race. Oh no, Colossus race, sorry. And see if this will make any difference. We will have the launch over the Hennessy, which will benefit us in that regard. But yeah. Whether or not we're going to have the top speed is another thing entirely. If we don't succeed with this one, then I'll have to do it in my own time. But I would like to at least get a podium position at the very least, even if we can't get a win. I feel like the handling alone is going to make this a much easier car to drive. Even if it's not a top speed barnstormer. No idea why the AI was struggling so much in the previous race or previous attempt. So yeah, no need to brake whatsoever. Minimal lift off there. But I fear we've gone the other way in terms of this race. Obviously this is the fastest section of the course, I believe. Downhill section will help us in speed. Faster for this section than last time. Oh, still cut the wall though, god damn it. It's clear this race is a tricky balancing act between top speed and handling. Starting to think that Mercedes might well be the one way to go. Couldn't see the turn in there because we were blinded by the reflections of the light. Someone's had an accident. These two came together. Looking like we're going to have to give this one more shot. And this is going to be the Colossus episode. It's just going to be about this race, but I feel like maybe either the Koenigsegg Gemera or the Mercedes AMG 1 are the way to go, really. Now, granted, I will have to downgrade that Koenigsegg, as we do currently only have it in X class. why it wasn't showing up on my on the cars to choose from that I already own. This car's definitely been more enjoyable to drive than the Hennessy was, just because it's more consistent. There's me clipping a wall. Yeah, it's just more consistent to drive and less of a handful through the corners. But it's also nowhere near as quick in the straight line. Looking at about 60 or so mile an hour slower. But I don't think we're massively more behind than we were last time, so yeah, for whatever reason the AI are just really able to keep well ahead. No idea where the other two have gone to. Oh dear, that is really tight, that last corner. Yeah, not done as well that time. Yes, it might be the nicer car to drive, but it is not the quicker car. Right, one more attempt. I know I said I was only going to do it twice, but third time the charm is saying after all, so or third time's the charm, so maybe it'll ring true this time around. So yeah, let's try the Gamera, I think, because that looks like it's going to have a good mix between handling and top speed, because obviously that can also do 290 at the very least. So yeah, I don't think it'll be able to have the full fat 2300 horsepower. Yeah, it's S2 900 overall anyway. So what does that look like in terms of stats? What was that? I have no idea how that was doing as well as it was when it's that low in terms of handling and braking. Whereas the Mercedes has slightly better top speed than the Revolto, as good at acceleration, better handling, nearly as good at braking, but braking's not really going to come into this all that much. Obviously the launch isn't as good, but that also doesn't matter. What's this able to do in terms of top speed? Nah, it's not even any that better in terms of top speed. No idea what to choose. I think we'll just have to go for the Gamera. It's got the acceleration over the Venom, which was also an issue with that car. It just didn't have that punch off the line, and neither did it really have it until, you know, about 200 mile an hour. It was only really then able to really stretch its legs. Yeah, the Gamera's not as good in terms of braking or handling, but I think the launch and the acceleration will make a difference. Right, let's see if this can do us any good. If not, then I have no idea what to pick to win this race outside of lowering the difficulty to a significant degree to get an advantage. But I'm not going to do that because I like a challenge. So, one more time. Yeah, one issue with the Hennessy off the line is just that it's got all of that power going through the rear wheels only. So all that power and massive amounts of torque just really just get struggled to put down onto the road. And that's not just in terms of launch either, that is also when coming out of corners. Something this won't struggle with. Let's hoping this can do better. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, don't do that. Well, it might technically not have the handling of the Hennessy, but it does feel like it's got more grip. We're already doing better. A 6th already. Oh, but there goes the understeer. Oh, it just kills everything. This is going to be a right tussle, this is, between those on the straights and those for the corners. I think the outside line is working better, but it means crashing through the barrier for this one, and I'm not going to manage that. It's doing well here. Yes, come on. Definitely has that additional grip over the Hennessy. It's my fault, getting distracted. Oh dear. No handling whatsoever there. Yeah, this car just is really temperamental. There'll be some corners where it's really good, and then there'll be other corners where it's just miles of understeer. I don't know how these AMGs are keeping well ahead, and I'm comfortably cracking their top speed. Collision, crash, don't know how that happened. You can't go this fast. This isn't your top speed. You're running out before even getting to 240. Go away. I think there's some major case of rubber banding going on here. Obviously, I'm not helping myself, but yeah, those Mercedes will not be able to go as quickly as they are. As they are at the limit of their PI, and just like I am. And yeah, as we know, after looking at the top speed of that car, it's only able to do about 230-ish miles an hour. So the fact that it's only there and we're doing 275, it just makes no sense. Oh dear. Well, we've improved by 1 whole position, and that's because someone crashed. But yeah, I have no idea what car to use for that whatsoever. There are cars there that are going far faster than they are ever advertised to be going. Mercedes AMG 1, for instance, like we've seen before, cannot be doing more than 230 odd miles an hour. And the fact that there's a fellow Gamera that is able to, you know, get around those corners as quickly as possible as well is baffling. I'm really surprised the Porsche 918 is as quick as it is as well. So yeah, I think it's a serious case of rubber banding going on with these cars to some degree. So yeah, no idea what to do in that regard, but if you do have any recommendations for what car to use, then I'll check them out. But outside of lowering the difficulty ever so slightly, I'm not sure what else to do. But yeah, but there we go. That is the Colossus. A little bit annoying, but still a really rather fun highway loop, and certainly one where you can get up to some ridiculous speeds. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.